So now we can start.
Okay, I think change is good for me because uh, people, if people has a stable life, a routine life, uh, they are boring. They are bored. They can bored. They
They,
can be bored.
people
They
has
can.
what people have, firstly. So people
People
have, we
have.
say, right? We don't say people has. And secondly,
Yeah.
if you say people boring, people are boring, like they're boring people. You don't like them. People
Yes.
can get bored.
Bored. Get
Get bored.
bored.
Okay.
Get bored.
Mhm.
So sometimes changing is good for our lives because uh, your mood should be change should change times to times actually
Mhm.
because uh, every people uh, doing something. Some people are working in business company. Some people is student, maybe can be students. So everyone sometimes want to relaxable things, not relaxing, relaxing actually.
Uh-huh.
So if you have any opportunities about changing something in your life, you can do it. You should do it, I think, because changing something is better always, I think.
Mhm. So
So, what are the same major changes occur to people?
wait,
So,
just jump to the next question. First, let me just process the first answer. So
okay,
basically, you said that change is good because it helps us to improve, right?
yes,
We
improve.
can use the word improve, for example.
Mhm.
And can you just like give some examples about it, like about change?
Maybe I can give, for example, nowadays I have a routine lives actually. I'm always study English because I have a I have a front of uh, an exam.
So I have an
So
exam waiting for me.
I'm waiting for me. Yes, waiting for me. So I'm already uh, working. I'm already working English, and I know after I will study English again. So it's sometimes it's boring. It's boring.
Mhm.
The situation is boring
Mhm.
for me. And yes, change is very important. The very important part of life, maybe.
So
My thought.
sometimes life can get monotone, and that's why change
Yes,
can be beneficial.
yes.
I
It
got
should
you.
be this way. It
Mhm,
should use this way.
mhm, mhm. Wonderful. And second question, let me ask you, what are some of the major changes that occur to people throughout their lives? Like
Okay,
occur, happen. Occur means like happen to people.
happen. Okay.
Major.
Uh,
Hmm.
yes, because what are the some of? For example, you are living Istanbul, and uh, after a long time, maybe you want to live some other country, maybe, and this is a major changes in your life. I
Major.
think
It's a major.
major,
Okay.
major change. It's your life, and maybe I will finish my departments, my department. So
Department. You can also say my major.
my major, yes,
Major like
uh,
bölüm.
yes, major, and this is actually big changing in my life
Mhm,
for our situation because
mhm,
after I will I will find a job for me, for my mine. And I think these are big changes, changing its lives, it's our lives. So a lot of people maybe thinking other events, maybe. For example, a father, uh, a father's girl married someone, and this is a big changing their lives. Maybe this is a much
A father's daughter can get married
father.
to
Yes,
someone
can
or
get
can get
married
married with someone. Okay,
because this girl still mm,
is his
ha,
daughter.
his daughter don't live in father's house, maybe father's house.
Hmm.
So it's big change for her family, maybe.
Ah, I got it. Okay, so but Mahmoud, I want again a structure in your speaking. So
Mhm,
just as I told you, you have to like create an outline to sound more fluent and coherent. Instead of answering the question directly, you can come with a different approach. For
okay.
example, what is the question? What are some of the major changes that occur to people throughout their lives?
Mhm.
Give some background information about change, like your audience up, warm them up by asking a question. Have you ever, for example, have you ever realized?
You don't want to direct answer, actually.
Yes. I want your personal
You,
statement
you should you
at
should
third or
you
fourth sentences. First
okay.
two, three sentences, I want it to be unique, independent, and like warming me up and taking my attention, like kind of a hook. So, for example,
Maybe I am thinking about the my mistakes.
no, don't
I
worry.
don't want. Okay.
You can make mistakes like throughout your speaking. Doesn't matter. Doesn't create. It would be worse if you don't have coherence. If your sentences are out of order and are out of following a pattern, let's say.
Mhm.
But let me just answer the second question. How do I want you to answer this question? What are some of the major changes that occur to people throughout their lives? It is asking
Mhm.
some major change. It is asking data. So what should I do? I should give the examiner some data, concrete, tangible ideas, such as getting into university. Second, getting married. I don't want to sound classic. If you don't want to sound classic and basic, say other things. For example, finding in your life what jobs you should do. This
Mhm.
is a huge like breakthrough in a person's life, you can say.
Mhm.
And then support it with evidences, give some examples, and jump to the second idea, main idea. And secondly is, let's say, having a kid in your life, like like after you get married, you have a child in your life, let's say, and it is a huge responsibility to take care of that children or those children. So we have two major components. First, what did I say? Uh, like being able to decide what you love and what you want to do for the rest of your life. Secondly, raising a kid. These can be some major changes in a person's life. And how do I do it? I just come up with a hook, the question. If you are expected just to speak and your speaking will be recorded, of course, you are not going to create a conversation with the speaker. For instance, if you are getting Ielts test, if you are taking the test, the examiner is not expected to speak with you unless he or she does it. So they can ask random questions, interrupt you, but you are not expected to like create a conversation with them. You are just expected to answer the question. So, for example, in your proficiency exam, is there a chance that you can speak with the examiner? I think it's highly unlikely. Like you are not expected to speak with the examiner, of course, right?
Yeah.
They just expect you to speak and answer the question. So that's why
Yes.
maybe
You they said don't be on topic in general.
that's for sure. But I'm just asking, you cannot speak with the examiner, the person, the teacher in front of you.
Yes, they don't give any information about questions in general.
Exactly. So what should you do? Instead of asking questions for getting attention as a hook, make a statement,
Yes.
a phenomenal statement, for example. I think
They ask only one question. Do you want to any time for examine these questions? Yes or no? And you can start. They say.
so. Since that's the case, then for the hook part, the first part, to getting the attention of the audience, instead of asking them question, just speak internally, kind of. So you should say that, make a statement, a generalization, for example. You can start your speech like this. Like, ask me the question, second question, and I will try to answer, okay?
Mhm.
Ask me, please.
Okay. What are some of the major changes that occur to people? Uh, I don't know this pronunciation.
Throughout.
Throughout their lives. Okay.
To begin with, people experience lots of incidents in their lives, and they can be positive and negative. And I personally believe that those major events change the way of people's living. So it also changes the perspective that you have towards life. But to highlight with some evidences, to highlight, let's say, the importance of these major events, they could be, for example, marrying, or finding a job that you like, or raising a kid. And there are some steps that follow throughout these changes that you experience. So to begin with, speaking of the first one, like marriage can have a huge impact on a person's life. See, as you can see, I also had struggled a little bit. Like, I got caught up in the moment. I didn't know what to say. I just didn't feel right to answer the question. In that time, what do? I try to stick to the outline. What was I speaking? Marriage, this and that. Actually, that was a great example of me not being able to speak really good. I couldn't answer the question properly, that in a level that, at a level that I wanted, in a way that I wanted. That's why, what did I do? Okay, I'm getting experiencing some problems. What should I do? Stick to the outline. I was speaking about marriage, one of the major events.
Yes. Changed life. Change the
So you
country
saw me like failing at some point. It can happen to anyone, even if you
and
ask me
finding
questions,
job.
I wouldn't
Finding job.
be able to answer. And, sometimes today I'm very tired. That's why, not feeling very energetic. But I just want to show you the ideology that the pattern of ideologies that I follow. So there's step by step, as I told you. So having an outline, like start with a general statement, and after that, give examples, concrete ones, and say, all in all, there are some major changes in each person's life, and it can vary from person to person. That's why it is a subjective topic. But
Yes.
speaking of like everyone, or making a generalized statement, marriage, university selection, or major selection, and
Yes.
raising a child can be one of the
They can be
prominent ones.
your examples.
Hmm.
So, can I continue the other
Now I
question?
expect you to answer the third question in this way, okay? Is your
Okay.
country changing rapidly?
Okay. Like these events can be exciting for me because something is bad for me and something is good. For example, I remember at that time I waked up.
I woke
And
up.
I woke up and I saw our ways is destroy uh, by someone.
Hmm.
They are workers, waste workers, and
Oh, you mean road construction?
road construction. And uh, these these days, this day, I shouldn't, but I don't know the should past form. What can I use
I shouldn't
for?
have done. I shouldn't have gone.
Uh, I needed actually. I needed uh, my car at that time, but my car stay uh, is left on the road, and
Hmm.
I I couldn't take my car
Out of the
uh,
way.
out of yes,
Or
out
out
of
of
the
the construction zone.
yes. So this situation was repetitive for me, uh,
But
my
maybe
life.
misunderstood the question. It says you got the point at some part, but is your country changing rapidly? Uh, Speaking of change,
Changing.
my country is changing naturally, economically, politically, but I would like to speak about, let's say,
Not for me,
environmentally.
not about for
Environmentally.
me. General thing,
Yeah, like
general.
try to specify your change. Like what? Firstly, identify that there are some uh, options of change, like as I told you.
Okay.
Then,
Example.
after identification, give examples, make a selection. I would like to speak of this change, such as environmental change, and explain that, for example, or constructional. I don't know, whatever you like.
Okay, I will try. So in 2017,
Firstly,
I want to.
determine. Sorry for cutting your word. Firstly, determine your topic. Like there are some changes that can happen in my country, such as politically, environmentally,
Yes.
naturally, something like that. Then I would like to speak about this one.
Okay.
Say
Okay.
approach like that.
Uh, the dollar prices, $1 prices is changed our country actually. For Turkish liras, about like Turkish liras. Uh, I have a example like for that. Uh,
Mahmut, you didn't give instruction part. So
okay,
instruct me, like explain that. The question is this: is your country changing rapidly? Firstly, rapidly means fastly.
yes, I
Your
know.
country changing fastly. So
Mhm.
you should firstly explain to me that yes, my country is changing very rapidly. But speaking of change, I would like to speak of environmental change. Like say that part. Is it environmental? Say that there are various types of change for a country to experience.
Mhm.
That are ideological, blah blah blah. I choose environmental one. Start your answer with this, okay?
Okay.
Do you understand? I can explain in Turkish if you want.
So
Yani
so
diyor
so
ki ülkede değişim çok hızlı oluyor mu diyor. Ülkede bir defa değişim dediğimizde neyi kastediyoruz diyerek başta. Mesela şundan mı bahsediyoruz, bunun mu bahsediyoruz, bu değişim mi? Ben environmental, çevreselden bahsetmek istiyorum. Bu tanımı yap, ondan sonra konuşmaya başla diyorum.
anladım.
Ya bu
Okay.
çok önemli mesela. Is your country changing rapidly? Ne manada? In which way? What kind of
Okay.
change are we speaking about?
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
I will try one more time.
Okay.
Uh,
Let me ask you the question. Is your country changing rapidly?
First of all, what does it mean the changing country rapidly? We should say about this meaning. So I can talk about economical changing. Nowadays we have some different dollar prices about the Turkish liras. According to Turkish liras, sometimes we have $1 is 8 Turkish liras, and after $1 is 9 Turkish liras, and so this is very rapidly for our country changing. Yeah, is only the perspective, one perspective. Maybe I can say another example about this. Yes, nowadays I can see more foreign people in my country.
Foreign people.
Foreign people, yeah, foreign, not foreign, foreign people in my country. They are coming, for example, Malaysia and maybe Russia and other countries, but in general they are coming east, world of east,
East
actually.
part of the world.
It is part of the world, and I can see this, but it was so rapidly for me, actually.
I got it. Thank you very much. Great answer, by the way.
Okay.
And if you want, we can finish. Is it okay?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Now let's analyze the speaking part. Türkçe anlatacağım burayı. Şimdi
Okay.
sorulara bazen gerçekten algılayamayacağımız şekilde soru sorabiliyorlar. Yani konu dışı olabiliyor, bilgimiz dışında olabiliyor. Böyle zamanlarda işte aralara bir şeyler yerleştireceğim. Like if I think of an example, hani bir örnek düşünürsem derken düşünüyorum zaten. Böyle aralara kelime kalıpları yerleştir. Yani örnek veriyorum. I just want to give more information about that. Like I can give examples such as bir şey de oyala karşı tarafı.
Şey gibi mi hocam, hani kitap yazılardan oluşur tarzı bir şey gibi. Birazcık daha böyle yani.
Ha?
Kitap yazılardan oluşur tarzı gibi mi? Hani biraz böyle şey, çok mu genel oluyor?
Ha, anladım. Biraz geç geçti, pardon. Kitap yazılardan. Aynen o da olabilir ama biraz böyle nasıl diyeyim, o anda
Aklıma
durumu
aslında
böyle
iki yol
öğrenmek
geliyor hocam.
yerine
Sizin anlattığınız. İki yol
mesela
geliyor. Bir
örnek
tanesi
veriyorum. If I want to
uzatmayla.
bir de söyleyeyim bir dakika. If I want to sound more clearer, if I want to ne bileyim sound more objective, I can give an example about this topic in this way. Bir şey. Yani bir şey uydur ya, fark etmez. Bunu ezberleme şimdi çıkıp hani mesela bunu diyeceğim.
Evet, tamam.
Onu gördük. Uymuyor ezberlediğimiz şeyler. Anladın mı? Lego gibi
Aynen.
şöyle parçası olan şeye ne bileyim şöyle bir şey girmesi oturmuyor, anladın mı?
Aynen
Ondan
öyle.
dolayı da her şeyin şöyle birbirine uyabilmesi için o anda güzel örnekler vermen gerekiyor. Bak ben bir tane
Pratik olmak lazım.
Speaking'den ben 9 üzerinden 8 aldım IELTS akademikten. Ama bak mesela bir soruyu battım orada. Bayağı bir kötü yaptım hani. İstediğim şekilde cevaplayamadım. Olabilir. Acayip moralim o an bozuluyor. Aa, ne oluyor, yapamıyor. Ya sakin ol, güven kendine ya. Bak nasıl. O an bir karanlıktık. Tarık'la kimse inanmıyorken ona kendine inandı. Ama bir şekilde örnek verip konuşmaya ve topiğine sadık kalmaya, ona dönüp konuşmaya başarılı bir şekilde devam etti. Bunu sağla. Sen olaydan kopabilirsin, dikkatin dağılır. Ya örnek veriyorum, konuşuyorsun, hoca apşak diye böyle hapşurdu. Ne yapacaksın? Ha, bittim ben. Ha, bütün konsantrasyon, her şey.
Yani
Sakin
gitti.
olabilir. Gaz çıkar adam, ne yapacaksın?
Yani
Bırakacaksın mı? O anda odaklanacaksın. Kapını bir açabilir, bir şey olur. Anyway,
yani
it's like komiye vur falan filan böyle. You know, it can happen to anyone. But let's turn back to our topic. Bir toparla, enerjetik ol. Her şey olabilir yani. Ondan dolayı da outline çıkar kafandan. De ki tamam, ben bu soruyu rapid change diyor. İşte political, ne bileyim, işte economical, environmental diye cevaplayacağım. There are some types of change in our life. Böyle
aslında
anlamalı bir
şey
şekilde.
olmuş yani Graffiti'nin anlamını bildiğim halde yani şöyle bilmek değil de hani tahmin ettiğim halde baktıktan sonra hani ani deyince hani hızdan daha farklı bir anlam bir düşündüm. Yazı oldu hani bir de şey gibi değişti demem gerekiyor. Şimdi değişti diyeceğim ama şimdi bir şey oluyor ki hani olduktan sonra anlamam lazım ki o yüzden pasta gittim yani hani böyle bir şey yaşamıştım gibi ama yani sanki o soru bugüne ait değilmiş gibi benim için.
Hmm.
Hani olan bir şey olduğu için hani geçmişte kalması için pasporundan bahsetmem gerekiyor düşündüm bir anda. Hani oluyor demek yerine öyle bir sıkıntıya
Ha.
düştüm.
Ya şey diye belirdin. Ekonomiden güzel bahsettin. İşte we are seeing concrete in everywhere right now.
İşin gerçeği şöyle hocam mesela toparlamak diyoruz ya bir anda eşittir demek gelmedi. Ondan sonra $1 is a Turkish lira falan dedim böyle bir yani o şekilde
Olur.
hani.
İşte ben bunu istiyorum. Eşittir is
Ha,
equal to. Equal kelimesi aklına gelmedi mi?
aynen.
Is about de. Ya geç, about de geç, takılma orada.
Hı hı.
Anladın mı?
Aynen öyle yani baktım hani dedim ki hani nasıl olsa hani şey gibi hani eğer my name is Mahmut diyebiliyorsan örnek veriyorum hani adım
Tamam.
Mahmut yani ben one Turkish lira işte atıyorum ya da atıyorum $1 işte is 8 lira today
Olur.
and tomorrow
Aynen öyle.
is
Aynen
can
öyle.
be change tarzı.
Aynen öyle. Güzel. Okeydir. Bu kaydı da bitireyim. Thank you.
Tamamdır hocam.